Brian Kilmeade, he is a host on Fox News Network. He made some pretty insane comments about homeless people recently, and I'm going to link that clip in the top comment because if I put it in the video, this video is going to get copyright claimed and maybe even copyright strikes. I'm not going to risk that. That's terrifying. Now, recently in Minneapolis, I think because of these comments, I'm thinking this is just an alleged statement, just going to point that out here. I think that because of the comments that Brian made, somebody went out and actually attacked a bunch of homeless people because in Minneapolis, a homeless shelter was a victim. People were victims of a mass firearm spreading. That's what happened there. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, because Jimmy Kimmel lost his show recently because of not violent statements. He just stated a half lie, half truth, more likely a lie, that the person who took out Charlie Kirk, the assassin, was MAGA. That's what he said. So, he lost his job because of that. Brian Kilmeade, I don't think anybody should be losing their job over guesses and speculations, to be quite honest with you. But I now realize the power that words have. So you guys now know that words have power, right? We're understanding that words have significant power. We got that, right? That people shouldn't be saying whatever they want to, endangering people. We all understand that as people. That's cool. That's good. Because the right has now weaponized cancel culture. Now, a lot of people have told me that Charlie Kirk has not said anything crazy or mean or evil, and he has been quoted out of context. I made a whole video about this before, about how cancel culture is going to eat itself one day because the right is going to be able to use this power. Once upon a time, cancel culture was the boogeyman of the right wing, the supposed progressive pitchfork mob that would come for your jobs, your jokes, your decade-old tweets, all because you slipped up and said something wrong while the internet was watching. Oh, it was horrible. It was Orwellian, in a sense. A modern witch hunt. The end of free speech. An ideological virus that spread like wildfire. Every time a person was crucified for being caught on camera saying something the world didn't want to hear, oh, it was bad. But now, something darker has taken root. Fighting fire with fire. Yes, the exact same thing is happening to the left now. Oh, it's bad, isn't it? A little ironic, I think. The far right has not only adopted cancel culture, oh, they've made it better. I think they've done way more efficiently than the left has ever done. They've refined it, sharpened it. There was a website for people making fun of Charlie Kirk. Oh, they set it loose like a hunting dog. See, cancel culture was used to defend the marginalized. That was the initial start of it. It was used to help people out. It was originally a combination with the Me Too movement in order to make sure that people got a word out there, that people wouldn't be having a large platform for saying derogatory statements or bad things. And I wanted to tell you a story real fast. This is very important. When I was younger, I had a bunch of, let's say, baking soda in square shapes in front of me, and my father walked in on me with a bunch of it. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm a street pharmacist." And he said, I would get you for this, but I learned my lesson between getting between a man and his bag. He let me be a street pharmacist because he knew that getting between a man and his bag was the worst thing you could do. Never harm a man's ability to eat is what he told me. I learned that lesson very young. So I never call for witch hunts. Ever. I don't do that. That's not what I do. But now, it's used to silence criticism of their chosen idols. Say one wrong thing about their beloved golden boys, and suddenly you're the enemy of truth, decency, God, America, and whatever their podcast told them this week to believe in. This is the far-right cancel culture epidemic that's happening right now. I like to call it reverse cancel culture is what I like to say. So, that's what I'm going with here, despite the fact that it's just regular cancel culture. But I like to say reverse because it's on the other foot now. You know what I'm saying. You get it. You understand. You pick up the vibe. You grasp it. This would be so funny if it weren't so terrifying. These are the same people who screamed about being censored, who wept over shadow bans and platforming, and the idea that people could face consequences for their words. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. The woke left, it destroyed. This is ridiculous. And they wanted open discourse. I agree. We should have open discourse. They claimed that. They wanted a battlefield of ideas, a true democracy of voices where nothing was off limits and no one could silence them. I can say what I want to. This is America. First Amendment. First Amendment. But now they built their own digital mafia, own militia. You guys call my job. I'm not letting that go. I'm really not letting that go. Because my favorite manager just is weird to me now. I don't even know what's going on. It's strange. I don't know what's happening. You got this digital militia. You can summon 1,000 angry usernames to scream down critics and flag tweets into oblivion. You even got Elon Musk on your side. Elon Musk is trying to attack Hasanabi. Oh my God, it's crazy. You guys are just, we should get us deplatform. Let's deplatform everybody. We have the power to do this now. Get them off the air. Now that you realize the weapon's powerful, you are using the victimhood thing. Same as the left. You're no better than the left. You know the horseshoe theory? You go far enough right, you end up being left. You go far enough left, you end up being right. Well, looks like you guys met in the middle right now. This is great, isn't it? This is so fun. Still stupid. Oh, the enlightened centrist is talking to us. Wrong again, dummy. I'm not a centrist. But this is really funny to witness. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's great. Because I remember I made a video. This is the only video I've ever taken down. Because I got literal, like, horrifying threats in my city because of it. I made a video saying cancel culture is stupid. And that you should allow white people to say the N-word. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's messed up. You're a house slave. You're Uncle Ruckus. Bada bing, bada boom. But I said this because if you don't let them say it, then they're gonna get angry. I say just let them say it because it doesn't matter. It's just words. If they want to say it, just let. I don't care anymore. I've gotten sick of getting mad over the N-word. There are bigger battles. There are much bigger battles. There's so many bigger battles. Such a worthless battle to fight when we have so many other issues that we can come together to deal with. If you want to say a word, by all means, I don't care. If you're not saying it in hate and anger as an insult, not gonna bother me, realistically. What am I gonna do if you say the N-word? Punch you, go to jail? Now I got assault charges? Whoa, that's crazy. There's no laws against hate speech. Did you know that? There's no laws against hate speech? If you think about this, no, I want you to really think about this. If I got called the N-word and then I attack somebody for calling me the N-word, you know what happens? I go to jail. That's it. They didn't threaten me. There's no recording of them threatening me. They just called me the N-word. That's it. They might get canceled online, maybe, if I recorded it. But nobody knows that. I could be lying. They could be like, that black guy's lying. Who cares? That's why I don't care about it that much, because there's bigger issues. There's real racism going on, like genuinely. And I've watched people lose their whole livelihood over accidentally saying it 7 years ago in a tweet that they deleted. I've seen it. But now you've given them that power. Because I said in the video that you guys attacked me over a while back. I said in the video, you guys are too obsessed with the power you hold from getting somebody destroyed. It feels like you are trying to take out Frankenstein's monster without ever coming for Victor. I keep saying it. But guess what? This is what you get. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love, the left. I love Democrats, all that jazz. I love the LGBTQ community. I really do love people with activism. And I don't hate conservatives, by the way. I want to put this out. I don't hate anybody that's like conservative, a Christian, white. I don't care. I don't hate those people. But I'm going to tell you this right now. This is what you get. Period. I genuinely mean this. Because they're addicted to the same power they used to demonize. That's what happens. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's the same playbook. They're doing the same thing. Because you know what's crazy about this one, though? It's not even about truth. If it ever was, it's about control. It's about narrative ownership. It's about erasing criticism before it can take root. Because even acknowledging dissent is too dangerous for their ego empires to withstand. This is. See, we used to think that cancel culture as a leftist thing, right? Tumblr threads and quick quote retweet takedowns, screenshots of racism or transphobia, passed around like a digital infection until some minor celebrity loses a brand deal and sobs on YouTube apology videos in front of a ficus. Oh, now something else entirely. Conservatives have cracked the code, weaponized the machinery. They're not just using it against institutions. They're using it to defend their own sacred cows with the same hypocrisy they used to denounce. And what's worse, they're getting good at it. They created their own echo chambers of outrage, their own sanctified cancel mobs. Except now, they wear suits and call it accountability. You messed up. Bad. If I may quote the Bible, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Thank you. What makes it so deeply unsettling is the absolute inversion of logic. Where once people were held accountable for saying the N-word or making grotesque jokes at the expense of trauma victims, now people are being silenced, not for bigotry, but for calling out bigotry. We've fallen through the looking glass. The pendulum didn't swing back. It cracked the mirror and now everyone's bleeding from the shards pretending their reflection is still whole. This is ridiculous because now it doesn't even matter anymore. Nothing matters. You criticize someone for spreading misinformation, you're a part of the deep state. You question a conservative's wild claims, you're a leftist terrorist trying to erase freedom. The insanity of it is that you don't even have to say anything extreme. You don't. I've witnessed it now. It's crazy. I have not said anything wildly extreme. I just disagree with a few things. And a lot of people swarmed on me. Like flies on a pile of poop. That's all I said. It's crazy. You say a critical thing about Charlie Kirk or hell, Donald Trump now. You're a Marxist, a groomer, a deep state NPC demon communist funded by George Soros, riding a rainbow-colored Trojan horse. You suck. I'm like, what did I say? What did I do? That's a real thing someone said to me, by the way. I'm just quoting it bar for bar. It doesn't matter if what you said was fair. Hell, it doesn't even matter if what you said was true. They will swarm like AI-generated hornets. And they're going to use the same things over and they're going to quote the same thing. Look at all these trans mass shootings. Look at this. Look at that. Look at trans ideology. The woke left. They're garbage. Look at this man in a wig. Look at this. This just doesn't even matter. You know what's crazy? There are people who want actual discourse, real conversation, messy but meaningful debate, and they get shredded. Because everybody just wants war now. And in all of this, in every flame war and trending hashtag, and every artificially inflated outrage campaign launched from Reddit or 4chan or Truth Social or whatever pseudo-fascist echo chamber is the flavor of the month, who cares? We forgot the most important thing. People are losing their jobs. You forget that? The hardest thing to get right now, your job. That's what's going on. You can't even debate anybody anymore because you might say something wrong and then boom, they found your IP, you're done. Morality has become a meme. That's what it has. Stripped of nuance, boiled down to a slogan, sold to the highest bidder, and weaponized by those with the biggest microphones and the thinnest skin. Thinnest skin. Cancel culture from its inception, from what I remember, was trying to make the world more empathetic, right? It is now being used to stomp on empathy itself. And I do agree that if you make fun of somebody passing, that is bad. I agree. I'm not just saying that because I'm scared of losing my platform. I don't care about you. You already called my job. I don't care about you. Try again. Give me some more PTO. Good luck. I don't care. It's like watching a snake eat its own tail while yelling free speech. It's crazy. You're an Ouroboros. The conservative adoption of cancel culture is tragic because somewhere buried beneath the performative pearl clutching and the TikTok exposés and the Fox News tantrums, I'm talking about you, Brian Kilby, by the way, is a real conversation that never gets to happen. A conversation about responsibility, about forgiveness, about the messy human process of growth and error. But we never get there. We didn't get that on the left either, by the way. We didn't get that on the left. We're definitely not getting on the right, by the way. Oh, you sound like a centrist. I'm gonna need you to shut up for a second, because I have said before that the cancel culture stuff was getting out of hand, and that if they discover they can use it, then you're done. And guess what? You're done. You're done. That's what's happening. It's the minute somebody critiques a right-wing influencer nowadays, a rage mob floods their inbox. Death threats, doxing, calls to their employer, all in the name of justice. This is not what Charlie Kirk wanted, by the way. I want to point that out. This is not what Charlie Kirk... He wanted open debate. This is not honoring his legacy or his name at all, period. We are going to lose something sacred. Something really sacred here if this keeps going on. The right to speak. Not without consequence. Obviously, there's consequences to certain words, obviously. But with context. We are losing the space where ideas could actually wrestle and breathe. It's replaced with this tribalism garbage dogma and branded narratives. Everyone has their talking points now. Everyone has their heroes, their martyrs, their sacred cows. This is stupid. It's, oh my god, this is dumb. Because what's happening here is that they're taking every criticism ever launched at them and turned it into a blueprint for their own culture war. That's what's happening. There's outrage cycles, purity tests, loyalty pledges. The same machine that once ran on empathy is now powered by sanctimony. Nobody seems to notice how much the parts have swapped. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is really stupid. It's beyond hypocrisy. Like, this is disgusting. The victimhood is being monetized. Like, it's bad. It's really, really bad. You know what I saw? They said, oh, Destiny can't stream on Twitch. Destiny's been banned from Twitch since like 2022. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know where that came from. That's stupid. I don't even know why he said that. That was dumb. That was just dumb. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a little angry. Just a little angry. So sorry about this. You know what the worst part is? No one's going to win. You can't build a better world on public executions alone. You can't shame your way to peace. But the left side didn't realize that at all. And now the right is going to learn that if you have everybody as the same side, it would suck. You know why opposites attract? You ever wonder why opposites attract? Because they show you something that you don't have and that you lack. That's why. So you can grow, because the only way to grow is to be uncomfortable. That's why opposites attract. That's the logic behind it. Because if you see something in them that you don't have, you would be forced to find it inside of yourself. You would be forced to look for it. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say we got a high energy guy. He's all ready and raring to go to work. He's excited. He's excitable about everything, but he overworks himself. So he gets with a girl. The girl's lazy. She doesn't do much. She doesn't do anything. She takes life super easy. He is going to learn from her that you can take life easy. And she is going to learn that maybe at some point you got to take life a little bit serious. And they meet as a perfect middle. A medium. That's what happens. Not some fence-sitter garbage, but choosing to be a better version of yourself. Because truly, truly, truly complete people see everything. The nuance in the world. The gray is what they say. Eventually, the same sword you swung will be at your hearts. Because culture doesn't have a spine. It just mirrors whatever face is loudest. And when both sides start adopting each other's tactics, all that's left is performance art soaked in paranoia. You can feel it in the teeth of every tweet. We're heading toward a world where no one is safe. Not the left, not the right, not the well-meaning middle, the enlightened centrist. Nobody's good. Because once the weapon is built, it doesn't care who holds it. It doesn't. The gun isn't going to be like, oh, well, I got to stop the bullet. That's a leftist. Stop right there. Hold on. I can't fire. I'm not in the hands of a trans woman. Can't shoot. Can't really do it. Are you daft? Are you daft? Are you genuinely daft? You think it's funny now, right? You think it's really funny when they use it on your enemies. You cheer when someone you hate gets dogpiled and destroyed, but the second the wind shifts, the second the mob needs new blood, it will turn on you. Because outrage is a beast that feeds on whoever's closest. It has no memory, no loyalty, no soul, just hunger. And what will we have left? Nothing. Not truth, not community, not the ability to grow or apologize or learn, just a battlefield littered with fallen avatars and destroyed reputations. That's it. That's it. You know what's gonna happen? After this, the people pulling the strings, they're gonna sell t-shirts and run fundraisers off the corpse of empathy. There's no recovery in a world where everyone's keeping receipts, where your worst moments become your legacy, where every word is a landmine and every silence is an accusation. I toss monkeys off bridges. Go ahead and quote that out of context. Woo, I just tossed. That'd be crazy. That'd be funny as hell. They are selling Charlie Kirk shirts already, immediately. Just immediately. That's just what they're doing immediately. And people are buying them, saying, more, I'll buy it. Show support. Just money to them. Just more money. Just so pissed me off. We didn't build a better world. We built a louder one. And now, no one can hear anything over the static. The same tactics once used to fight racism and homophobia are now being used to defend them. That's what's happening. The same pressure campaigns that once gave a voice to the voiceless are now crushing dissent under boots disguised as microphones. This is not justice. This is not discourse. This is not what anyone wanted, except maybe the grifters selling merch on the ashes. Maybe those people learned it. I'm not really sure. The real horrifying part is that no one is winning. Even the people who think they are, they're not winning. Because if your entire personality is built on silencing people who disagree with you, you haven't won. You just turn the internet into a padded cell with Wi-Fi. That's all you've done. And the goal of all this was to build a place where ideas could be tested and sharpened. That we have failed so catastrophically that failure itself is ashamed of us. Because that's what, if you want to honor Charlie Kirk's legacy, if you're a right-wing person watching this somehow, and you want to honor Charlie Kirk's legacy, you would love for this to stop. You would love that. All that we've built is fear. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of being the next target, fear of speaking, even when silence feels like complicity. This isn't freedom. It's surveillance masquerading as liberty. That's all it is. It's obedience masked as discourse. It's tyranny wrapped in memes and retweets and carefully cropped thumbnails for some odd reason. There's a lot of stuff going on in my brain right now. Every time someone on the far right uses the language of the left to silence a critic, to destroy a voice, to preserve their hero's image, we fall deeper into the lie that this was ever about free speech at all. I want to tell you this is an aside here. People on the far right, if you're watching this somehow, I really gotta ask you, this is a genuine question. You value free speech. You hate those leftist liberal shills who are trying to poison your kids and all this other stuff, and I grasp that. You want to get them destroyed and gone forever. You want a traditionalist society. You want women to stay in the kitchen. You want men to be the breadwinners. You want the economy to be back. You don't want any foreign threats, and you want to see your fellow man. I grasp it. I understand that you think everything should be merit-based and based off of that. But you have to please acknowledge that it has never been that way. Right? Maybe at one point women were in the kitchen and then feminism started and they got the right to vote. Remember? Do you remember that? You may hate that black guy is coming in because, oh, he's a DEI hire. You know why DEI was started? Because they were hiring 0 black people. Period. That's why tipping started. Because when black people got free, they got emancipated, nobody wanted to hire black people and pay them fair wages. So they said, oh, you could just get the money for the customers. Because the places that hired them didn't want to pay them. That's why tipping started. That's why. Do you grasp that it is such a systemic issue? Please tell me that you are not too blind to realize this. I beg of you. I genuinely beg of you. And you could say, things are different now. Yes. They're different. Everything stays, but it still changes. I beseech you to look inside and realize the history of everything, the history of the world, the history of what's happened. Back then, women couldn't vote. Black people couldn't vote. Black women had it horrible. Civil rights has to be put in place. Feminism had to be started. People were just allowing horrible things to happen. Horrible things. Horrible, 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 horrible. Everywhere was happening. Do you recall that? Do you remember? You probably don't. That's okay. But you can't erase history. I'm not going to lecture you anymore. Please. Just be better. I guess. I don't know anymore. I don't know. This is getting stupid. This is getting dumb. Anyways, bye. I'm your nigga night, be my loyal, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you